Would you still stay by someone's side if they only showed up when times were good? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you joining me again. Today's story is one that cut deep: betrayal, grief, and the kind of life lesson that comes with a scar. My name is Ethan, and what I'm about to share isn't just about love lost. It's about being blindsided by the person you trusted most, right after losing the person who loved you the most. It started with a woman named Lena. I met her 9 years ago. We were in our mid-20s, still fumbling through early adulthood, chasing big dreams with small bank accounts. But it didn't matter. We clicked. Our conversations felt effortless, our connection was magnetic, and we believed we wanted the same future. The first few years together were filled with simple, beautiful things. Late-night drives, takeout picnics in the park, the kind of romance that doesn't need grand gestures to feel real. I honestly believed I had found the woman I would grow old with. But not everyone was as swept away as I was. When I brought Lena home for the first time to meet my mother, Miriam, I could feel it. A quiet distance in the room. My mom wasn't rude, not even cold. She was her usual polite self. But after Lena left, she pulled me aside and said something I'd never forget. "I know you care for her, Ethan. But not everyone who walks beside you is walking in the same direction." She wasn't dramatic or confrontational. She didn't accuse Lena of anything. But she made one thing painfully clear. "Keep your eyes open. You're my only son, and I won't always be here to protect you." At the time, I chalked it up to parental caution. Maybe even jealousy. I didn't see the warning, or maybe I didn't want to. So I waited. I didn't rush into marriage. Lena and I dated for several years before tying the knot. I believed that waiting proved we were solid. But looking back, my mother saw what I couldn't. Even after the wedding, their relationship never bloomed. It wasn't hostile. Just hello. Cordial smiles. Polite hellos. But no warmth. No effort to bond. My mother respected boundaries, but she never forced closeness. And now I realize, she kept her distance because she saw something I wasn't ready to accept. The first years of our marriage were stable. Lena and I found a rhythm, even through the usual growing pains, learning how to coexist, merging habits, bills, calendars, and toothbrush holders. I had a good job in corporate strategy, predictable, safe. But I wasn't satisfied. I dreamed of something more, of building something I could call mine. So 2 years in, I left my job to launch a small creative agency. I had savings, a plan, and ambition. For a while it worked. Until it didn't. One major client mishandling by an employee snowballed into a full-blown crisis. 2 of our top accounts dropped us. Overnight, I lost over half of the company's revenue. And suddenly, I was staring into the abyss, watching my dream unravel. I tried everything to patch the holes: marketing pushes, late nights, cold calls, outreach campaigns. Nothing worked fast enough. And the financial pressure started bleeding into my home. Lena changed. The support I thought I could count on. She became sharp, resentful, sarcastic. Every dollar she pitched in came with a price. Lectures, shame, comparisons to my stable job days. It wasn't just the money. It was the way she made it clear she no longer respected me. But here's the thing. I was already grieving something. The slow death of a dream I'd poured my heart into. Her coldness just deepened the silence between us. We stopped trying. We were no longer lovers, not even friends. Just 2 people coexisting under one roof, slipping further apart every week. Then came the real storm. My mother, Miriam, called one evening. Her voice was calm, but something in it felt off. The next day, I drove to her house. She sat me down with a quiet heaviness in her eyes and told me the truth. She had ovarian cancer, had been battling it for a year. And now it was terminal. Months left, maybe less. I can't describe what that moment did to me. My mother, my anchor since the day my father died, was fading. And I couldn't stop it. For 2 months, I watched her shrink inside that hospital room. I visited every day. Held her hand. Sat in silence when words were too heavy. Lena visited a few times in the beginning but quickly found reasons not to. Work is overwhelming. Hospitals depress me. I stopped asking. When my mother passed, she left behind more than grief. A week later, I was called into her lawyer's office. I thought it was about funeral arrangements or bills. Instead, I was handed a folder. My mother had placed everything, her savings, investments, real estate, into a trust. I was the only beneficiary. But there was a condition. I couldn't access any of it for 3 years. And if I got divorced during that time, or was even in the middle of one, Lena would get absolutely nothing. She'd created a fortress, one that couldn't be cracked open, negotiated, or manipulated. I didn't fully understand why. Until 2 weeks later, Lena filed for divorce. No warning, no conversation, no final attempt to fix what was broken. Just a legal notice served to me in my office like a package. Irreconcilable differences, the paperwork said. What it really meant was, I think you're rich now, and I want out with half. She assumed my mother's inheritance was fair game. But what she didn't know, and what her lawyer never verified, was that the trust was built like a vault with a ticking clock. And her greedy timing was her downfall. During mediation, her lawyer demanded 50% of all current and future assets, including the inheritance. My attorney calmly slid the trust documents across the table. Per the trust's conditions, he explained, any spouse divorcing the beneficiary within the protected window forfeits all claims. That includes indirect benefits, negotiated settlements, or court-mandated distributions. It's ironclad. Lena's face dropped. Her lawyer stammered, flipped pages, and eventually mumbled, "We may need to reassess our approach." It was too late. The settlement she ended up with, a fraction of what she expected, barely enough to cover her own legal fees. And the look she gave me during that final court session. Like I'd betrayed her. But I didn't betray her. She exposed herself. My mother saw it coming, even when I refused to. A few months after the divorce was finalized, Lena messaged me out of the blue. "I'm drowning. Debts piling up. I don't know who else to turn to." And for a moment I hesitated. For a split second, I remembered the woman I once loved. But I remembered the betrayal more. I responded, "I'm sorry you're going through this, Lena. But I can't be the one to pull you out of it. I wish you well." That was the last time we ever spoke. In the end, I lost my mother and my marriage in the same chapter. The grief was real. The loneliness was real. But so was the clarity. When people show you who they truly are, especially in your darkest moments, believe them. Thanks for listening. And remember, family might not always speak loudly, but sometimes the quietest protection is the strongest one you'll ever have.